operational requirements and how to implement these requirements in the most cost-effective way. And the presentation should serve two purposes. First of all, to give you that good understanding on requirements for people qualification and strategies, and I think even more importantly, to make you familiar with reference materials that should help you to easily implement what you have learned today during my presentation. So, I think the main purpose of this slide is more or less just to introduce you to my email address. So, in case you have any question, either when the seminar is finished, you can send the question either to compliance trainings. If it's a technical question, they will forward to me. And you also could send a technical question directly to this email here, huber@labcompliance or info@labcompliance. Both would be possible. Okay, so this will take you through the agenda today. I will start with a general overview on FDA requirements for trainings, and even more importantly on enforcement practices. And I will introduce you to a strategy for training so that can be implemented at a department, at a site or company level. And next I will go through the process on how to apply this strategy for the entire training, also for individual employees. Then I will talk about what is important when conducting trainings. And I think a very frequent question about training is, we know we have to document the training, but we also have to document the efficiency of the training. And so I also will talk about that one a little bit. And finally, we talk about what FDA would expect as a type of documentation for trainings. And at the end, I also will go with you through an SOP, the same SOP that can you download from the reference website. And as Ramesh pointed out, I mean, you can ask questions, and the questions you can ask directly when I talk. That's what Ramesh told you in the chat box, or at the end we also will open up the audio line for verbal questions here. So this is a reference material here, and so because my opinion, my thinking about giving this presentation is, I think it's not enough to talk about the slides for 45 minutes or 1 hour. In my opinion, you should get something when you come home. There should be something, and I have quite a lot of material. For example, there is a primer, which is about 22 pages long, very detailed on successful compliance training. I also have a couple of SOPs. I have a training for GMP compliance, training for GXP and Part 11 compliance, and there is another training, another SOP specifically for training on analytical laboratories. There is also a checklist, and also there are 5 case studies on how to avoid and respond to training related to 483s and also to warning letters, and there are also links to FDA regulations and guidelines. Okay, I think I have FDA does not say too much about trainings in the regulations. I mean, this is what you can find here. And I will quote you the FDA GMP. This is what you see here, 21 CFR Part 211, which is FDA's regulation on the finished drug manufacturing, GMP manufacturing. And so what they say here is, I mean, I don't want to read the complete text for you. I think I will just highlight what are the most important points here. So, for example, here I have the assigned functions. Training, then the second one, we have to define what the functions are. That's the first point. We have to define the functions, and also a very important point is here, when we talk about training, I mean, we start with an initial training, but we also have an ongoing training, which should be an update training. We will talk about this refresher training also a little bit later.